Hello friends, I am going to show you my mini challenge in the challenge for the June Dearjuliejulie junk journal challenge. We do what she calls a mini challenge in the middle of it, or actually towards the beginning of it. And this time she is having us do a little journal. And the idea of doing this mini challenge in the challenge, her idea for it was that we could make something that we can keep for ourselves, but we would have it as a gift component to have on hand, to give to somebody if we needed to. And this particular mini challenge is a list journal. So it's got almost all the pages in it are writing pages or drawing pages or whatever you want to do, but there are some Dearjuliejulie digitals in here, some things that we were required to do. So the first thing was, well, not the first, but one of the things we needed to do was a tassel, a simple tassel. And if you guys have watched me at all, you know I do not like making tassels. This one was pretty simple, turned out pretty cute. I just used ribbons. I glued on some sequins. I put this little piece of trim up here, and I did make it on a little key ring. And she showed something that was kind of cool, to just put it on a paper clip, and then you can just clip it to the top. And that person, whoever gets it, can either take it off or leave it. So I thought that was a cool idea because I never know how to attach these on here very well. Okay, so this was my cover, and I put a piece of ribbon on the edge of the cover. And then we were supposed to make like a little cluster or something with 5 items. These blend in really well with my cover paper, but this is part of a Dearjuliejulie digital that you'll see inside. I ripped around a little rabbit, and then I used this that I bought from someone on Etsy like 5 years ago. I was finally able to use it. Here's a small Dearjuliejulie digital that I cut around to look like a faux stamp. A little tiny flower punch, and another flower that I put up here, double flower. So that's my cover, and I inked around the edges with seedless grape distress ink. Okay, on the inside of the front and the back, we were supposed to put a pocket. I'll probably come back in later. I knew I would miss some pockets, so we weren't required to fill all the pockets, just a few of them. So I will come back and put something in there because I don't like to leave pockets empty. This was a piece that we flipped up. This is the Dearjuliejulie digital. I backed it with tissue paper that I had, and I just put this little cut off from one of my scrapbook papers that I used, and I made this tiny little notebook, put in here, and it has a little pocket on the front of it too. And I just put that in there like that. And then we were to use a label, and I had a long time ago, I took a whole sheet of labels and printed on them black and white. So I just took my seedless grapes and inked over one of the labels and put it on here. Inked around these white pages. We were to have two sets of 3 pages. This is one of my sets here, white. It's like a white linen paper that you would type resumes and that kind of thing on. Here's a cutoff from, I tried to use really most of my scraps that I had that I used in here. One of the cutoffs I just glued in here on the side of the page. And I inked around all these white pages. I inked around quite a few of these pages. This is a Dearjuliejulie tall tag page. I believe this one, we had to cut one of the panels off. But there's that. And then this is one of my specialty pages that I did a flip up pockets. And I put this tag in here. And we were to put something on these special flip up pages. So that's my Dearjuliejulie, piece of Dearjuliejulie digital I put on this. Then my other set of 3 papers were these graph papers. This one and this one are digitals, and then this is that blue graph paper you can get that I had. And I just put reinforcements on the holes and put these little ribbons in here. You don't have to do anything on the holes, I just like to. Then we were to have a piece of special paper that showed that it was notes or something. So this was mine. And I cut it, it's a little shorter on the other side, but I wanted that whole word notes to show. And then I backed it with some of that paper also, and then I put a piece of Dearjuliejulie on the bottom to cover. This is another specialty paper that we could use. This is not Dearjuliejulie, but the one on the back is. So I printed that on the back. But there's room for writing. And then we were to have some smaller pages in here. There's 2 of them. And we were also to make a paper clip. Now I made 2 actually, because I kind of got ahead of her. Well, for one thing, I couldn't find a playing card, and that's what she made hers out of. I didn't know if that was, I wasn't sure if it was required that we use a playing card. But anyway, I made one out of her digital, or out of the scrap paper that I used in this book. So there's one. And I put it over this page. And this is one page that I used to back a napkin on. We were supposed to do that. Take one of these tall pages, what do you call it? Tag pages, and back it with a napkin or tissue. And this one I backed with a napkin. I'll find the other side of this. Maybe it was just one side. This was one. Okay, yeah, this one, we only had to put the napkin on the back of one panel. And this is the back of the rest of it, I think. Okay, so, sorry if I'm getting out of, then we had to have some more shorter pages in here, smaller pages. There's 2, and then a smaller one. I believe this is, Okay, this is the one that we had to cut off a panel. So this is just 2 of the tall tag panels together. And then we had to use a couple more specialty pages, shorter. So I used these pages. I bound them together and then I cut them. If I didn't do that, they would have been way too small. If I just folded them in half, they would have only been that big. So there's those. Okay, and then there's another one of my small pages. This is the other specialty page that I use, called my specialty page, that I did a flip-up pocket. And Dearjuliejulie digital. And then I just tore around some of the scrapbook paper put down here on the bottom. And then I just put some of this graph paper cut off that I had in here. Like I said, I was trying to use up all the cut-offs and everything. So here's the middle of the signature. And just one moment, I'm going to shut the door. Sorry, I should have done that before I started. Okay, so here's the middle. And we were supposed to take, again, one of these 3 trifold tall tags, pages, and back it with tissue or napkin. And I used this tissue paper. I will be sad when this tissue paper is gone because it's got these dragonflies all over it, and I've used it a lot. I believe that it came in a box of shoes that I bought one time or something like that. And so I'm almost out. Here I took a piece of cut off from that scrapbook paper and I glued over here on the edge, made a tuck spot out of it. And then I put a pocket in the middle. Took some more of this graph paper, inked around it, put that in there for writing. And then here's the other paper clip. I did find a little, there's the inside of it, is paper clip made out of, it's a small card, playing card. So I guess that's what she was calling the cape, because you put the paper clip over it and then cover it. So that's how I covered the outside, and I put the tip of that paper clip through the top. I just cut a little hole right there so I could put this ribbon through the top. So that is that paper clip made out of a playing card. Okay, and then here's the back side of that specialty paper with the pocket. I just put a piece of this scrap notebook paper across the pocket for decoration. The other thing we were supposed to do with a playing card is make a little notebook cover. So I just put a piece of Dearjuliejulie digital here on the edge, and I put these little flowers. I put 5 of them on here, and then I attached these papers. You gotta be careful when you're using the glue because you can glue things together. Okay, so I just stapled them on the top. That's what's covering the staple on the top, is that one little flower. So it just made a little scrappy notebook. And I put that down in this pocket. Cute little owls. Okay, here's the other side of those little papers, and I just took a small piece, put that on the edge of that. Like I said, I'm just trying to use up all my scraps. This tall tag page, we were supposed to close it up and then slit up the side and make a big pocket this way. So cute. And so I made a big journal card out of the scrapbook paper. And we were supposed to put a tab on it. So there's my tab. It goes in there like that. Really pretty paper. And then here's the back side of these two papers. Oh, I need to fix that glue. I'll do that later. I need to glue those down a little better. Then we were supposed to make a little, if we didn't have one, which I didn't, a treat bag is what she was calling these. And so I just made mine out of a book page, covered it with a Dearjuliejulie, and put on this butterfly that I had on my desk. And took this piece of scrap paper, put down in there for writing, and inked around it. And this is the back side of these 3 pages, and I inked around these 2. Oh no, this is the inside of that one that I cut off. Okay, so anyway, here's the smaller pages again, and here on the whole I just covered it up with a little tab. That small page. Okay, here is the other side of that tall one that we were to well, I may have glued my tag right in here. And that's going to be a hard one to get out if I did. There we go. I get in a hurry, and I should just wait until the glue on these dries all the way before I try to put anything in them. But I just backed this on a piece of cardstock that I had on my desk. So there's that pocket, and we were supposed to have the pocket on top on this one. There's the smaller papers, and that's the other side of that. Our other specialty paper that we could have in here. This one folded. This side folded in the middle, so that's why I have this line showing, but that's fine. You can still write on it. There's the other part of that notes page that said notes on it. And then this is the other 3 papers, the back of them. This is the back of the specialty paper with the flip-up pocket. And I had this. This is supposed to be one of the, like a bookmark. So I just cut it out, inked around it, put it in here. And then this part, we were supposed to do some flap. So I just tore around this on the digital, put it on there, inked around it. And then these are the other 3 blank, writing pages. And I inked around all the edges. Here I just stuck a piece of paper down here that I had laying around. And on the other side of this piece, I have these little pockets, so I just put these in here. Put a little decoration there in the middle. And then I have a pocket in the back. And I made this little notebook here. So this is a piece that I had left. I goofed on one of the papers. So I used this portion for a little cover for a notebook. And I just stapled these pages in. So that's napkin here on the inside of this. So I made a cute little notebook. So I just put that in there like that. And there is my mini challenge in the challenge for the month of June. So let me know what you think. Thanks for stopping by. And I appreciate it very much. Let me know what you think. All right, thank you. Talk to you soon. Bye.